The NFL 2021 season kicks off on Thursday, August 5th. And while some say I won't bet the preseason, but many NFL handicapping experts say there's more value betting the preseason than any other sport. This is one of the only times in sports betting that you can have a team and a coach trying to win versus a team and a coach that doesn't care. The NFL preseason is $249. You can save $70 by purchasing this package by kickoff of the Hall of Fame game August 5th. The entire NFL preseason for just $179. Yes, football is back.
All right, guys, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. Time for another edition of Pony Pundits, powered by WagerTalk.com, as the stakes races continue on throughout the end of the year. And we've got ourselves another big meet coming up this weekend at Saratoga. And who better to help us navigate through one of the best races of the weekend, the Grade 1, the Fourstardave Handicap, well, then the pundits themselves, Mr. Marco D'Angelo in the house. Sig is here with us, and we got a lot to cover here, gentlemen, because, it's an 8-horse race. A lot of money at stake here. But before we get to the race here, it's customary that we probably start off the show with just telling Marco congratulations on how great he did last weekend and the winning and the whole thing, and you won it. No, not this one, not yet. No, hold on. This was just last week's show. I'm getting all the congratulations out of the way from Marco. So, how was your week, Marco? What's new and exciting with you?
Well, all I'll say, Joe, is keep in mind Knicks can go.
Okay. Yeah. I don't even want to replay it. I just want. See, this is why I got it out of the way at the top of the show, so we didn't have to bring it up again. But congratulations. A great week for you again last week, Marco. Congrats.
Thank you very much. It was fun. And I had a lot of fun with Sig all week, as I usually do.
So I wanted to tell you, too, you guys know there's a horse owner on this panel. And I'll give you a guess as to which one of us is a horse owner. I'll also give you a guess as to which one didn't bother to let the other two know he had a horse running today. And how did that race go, Marco?
Well, Joe, usually I would be very excited and happy. I mean, I will be happy in a week whenever the purse check comes. Mm-hmm. But in a second, you're going to put up the tote board from that race, and you're going to see that the horse lit up the tote board. Why did he light up the tote board? Because not only did Sig not play, did you not play, but Big Daddy here didn't play either his own horse. Oh. And you remember that angle that I talked to you about? It's a good handicapping angle that when a jockey has a choice of two horses, generally the horse he picks, he thinks that's the better horse. Well, my jockey that had been riding my horse picked off my horse for another horse.
and let's take a look.
I follow that angle. What am I supposed to do, Joe? And,
listen, we've seen it 100 times. Yeah, let's take a look at what where your Southwind Aussie, look, a 29-20 winner, Sig. You gotta be kidding me. Now, wait a minute. What number horse did your jockey go
on? Number 7.
7. I don't
see him.
I don't see a 7. He's still running? Oh, my word. 29-20. Well, Southwind Aussie, number 5 at the Meadows, guys. That is a big ticket. Of course, not one of us on this panel had it. So go figure how that works out here. Pony Pundits, my ass. But congratulations there, Marco. Well done, my friend. Another winner. And, of course, that check will come and go right back towards food. Hopefully the jockey will come back groveling as well. But great job there. Sig, has it been for you, my man? I know you had to watch the race without anything on it. But other than that, how you been, man? What's going on?
Doing pretty good, Joe. We actually are having a rough week at Saratoga this week so far. We were off to a pretty good start today last time I checked. So hopefully turning it around here for a big weekend with the Fourstardave. and a couple other stakes. Next weekend, actually, I'm taking my first week off. We've done the show for a year and a half. And next Friday is my first week off. Don't worry, guys. We have a competent replacement. Sean Alvarez is joining the show. He'll be with Marco, and I believe they're going to be covering the Pacific Classic from Del Mar. So I'll be tuning in to watch, but I won't be giving you guys any picks, at least on the show. Who knows, maybe online. Follow me on Twitter, and hopefully I'll give you something there for Pacific Classic Day.
Well, that's all right. Well-deserved. Well-deserved. Plus, Marco will have 3 more winners of his own horses he won't tell us about anyway. So you're not going to miss much, Sig. Don't worry about it. Before we get to the race, though, I did want to get to a little bit of news here this week, Marco. Interesting enough, regarding a very well-named Jorge Navarro. Interesting enough. Why don't you tell us about what Jorge did this week?
Well, he changed his plea, Joe, and he went from not guilty to entered a guilty plea, making a deal. He could be looking at up to 5 years of prison time and 3 years probation and restitution. Now, I don't know how the restitution can possibly happen because they figured it out. There's about $25 million in purse money that they're talking about over the period of this scandal. For those not familiar with it, they were using performance-enhancing drugs on horses. Navarro and Jason Service, make sure I get the right one. Sig always corrects me because there are 2 service trainers out there. One's a good one, John, and the other one has that high-octane feed, Jason. But Jason has still not he's pleading not guilty yet, but I don't know how that's going to work whenever you had somebody that was your accomplice and is naming names now in his statements. It's just a matter of time before the rock falls on Jason Service as well. But this is a big step for horse racing, Joe, because if they make an example out of trainers on the national stage, and I don't want to keep bringing up Bob Baffert, but that's, that cloud's still out there. It's going to, I hope, deter other people from doing things that they shouldn't be doing in horse racing and get the sport cleaned up. If some people do some hard time, that's going to get the wake-up call that the industry needs. So I never like to see it happen, but I'm glad that the hammer's falling, and it's falling hard on Jorge Navarro.
Yep, $26 million is what he agreed to pay back. That couch, that's just, you got that in the couch, Sig. That's what you got. Give me that $26 million back, my word. But it is interesting, Marco. It is a good first step, obviously, in the right direction to help clean up the sport. That is for sure. So, but it doesn't make a difference with how you pick winners. Your horses win. It really doesn't make a difference anyway, Marco. We're bound to profit here this weekend. So let's head over to Saratoga. And before we do, guys, I do want to remind you, great opportunity here this weekend. Sig's daily racing reports, you heard, they are up each and every day by 9 a.m. race days, guys. WT.buzz/Sig. You can go there, download his daily racing reports each day by visiting that page at WT.buzz/Sig. And Marco giving you a great opportunity, guys. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is hotter right now in baseball than Marco. He's 23-6 with all his plays since July 28. Guys, it's ridiculous. And he's giving you an opportunity to get an all-access pass now through September 13th. Every play, every sport, including what he's got going on with the ponies through September 13th, just $199. Make sure you head over to Marco's page at WagerTalk.com. All right, guys, we're going to take a look here at the Grade 1 Fourstardave Handicap. This is going to be tomorrow, that being Saturday the 14th at Saratoga. We've got a field of 8. We got $500,000 in purse money here. 1 mile on the grass. And, of course, the big reason this race is so much fun is because if you win it, I believe you are now in for the $2 million Breeders' Cup Mile at Del Mar on November 6th. So Raging Bull is number 1, and I believe, Sig, you drew the short straw. So you are going to get to go first here on Raging Bull. Chad Brown, Irad Ortiz, 9 to 5 morning line. Talk to me about Raging Bull.
Well, Joe, short straw, short odds. I do have the two morning line favorites to cover here on this week's show. Raging Bull is your morning line favorite. And, guys, I always take a second look when Chad Brown has a Peter Brandt runner in a stake race. And this one needs no introduction with 14 in the money finishes in 19 career attempts. Add to that Irad Ortiz is in the irons here, and you can surmise why this guy is the morning line favorite here. He's the class of the field with 11 of his past 12 starts coming in Grade 1 stakes. He finished fourth in this race last year, second in 2019. And this is going to be his third start of the year here. He's now 6 years old. He's 6 years old, and he won this Maker's Mark Mile in Keeneland in April. He just missed in June at Belmont in the Poker Stakes. Raging Bull at 6 here is still keeping it going, still keeping it real. And I think when we get to our selections here later in the show, he's going to definitely be in my selections, and I'm guessing in Marco's too.
Yeah, he is actually. I think this is one of the few turf races in New York that Chad Brown has not had a winner on just yet. But it is early line, you said, 9-5 there. Number 2, Marco, Whisper Not on its making the trek over from California. 20-1 morning line, 10-1 now. Jose Ortiz, talk to me about Whisper Not from England.
Yeah, they should change the name for this one to Win Not, because it's got no shot in this race on Saturday. Really, look at this one. They're really going very ambitiously putting this horse in this race. Yeah, he's coming off a Grade 1 race last time out, but wasn't a factor in that race, finished 5th. This is a horse that's going to want to get out and get on the lead, likes to race and try to control the race. He's not good enough to do that with this class of horse, and when he can't control the race, generally finishes up the track. So I am going to pitch the 2. No use for me in this one. Actually really surprised that Richard Baltus is shipping this one across country to race in this race. Is Baltus's home stable is in California. So that might make you think that Richard Baltus thinks his horse has a chance, but I don't agree with him, and I'm passing.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to number 3 here. Sig, Daddy is a Legend. Manuel Franco on top of this one. Another big number on the morning line, 20-1 here. Pennsylvania bred mare. Talk to us about Daddy is a Legend.
Well, Joe, this race actually shapes up as a true battle of the sexes. This is the first of 3 mares that we're going to see as we cover the field here in this Fourstardave handicap. Daddy is a Legend. George Weaver reassumed training duties for her prior to the 2021 campaign. For some reason, they took her off of Weaver and gave her to Rusty Arnold last year. But she is back in the back in the Weaver barn, has Manny Franco back aboard. And if you guys go back and look at the past performances here, Franco was riding her pretty exclusively when she was in the Weaver barn back in 2019, 2018. And they've hit the board consistently with this horse when the 2 of them teamed up with her. She will need to be run in top condition. She will need to be in top condition to run with this field, but has been training very consistently and fast since her last start, which was over 2 months ago. I love the 20-1 price on this one, and while I don't see her winning the race, I could see this one helping out our exotic tickets here, and I will be using Daddy as a Legend on almost all my exotic tickets.
All right. Well, there you go. We got one there. Number 3. We'll move on to number 4, Casa Creed here. William Mott, Junior Alvarado here. Marco, we've got a 4-1 morning line on this horse. So tell us, what do you think here about number 4, Casa Creed?
Well, this horse is very intriguing, Joe. If you look at the last line, this horse came from the clouds. And if you watch the stretch drive, what a burst of speed Casa Creed put on to win that race, coming from dead last. Now, there's a couple of things I got to point out about that race. In actually his last 2 races, they were 6 and 7 furlongs. They're going a mile here today. So I got to question a little bit on the distance. And if you look at that race where it closed in the stretch, they went pretty fast fractions up front, and the race fell apart. Yes, turf races, you usually see closers coming at the end, but I don't think you're going to get those swift fractions that this horse would need in this one. And I question the distance. I know when you see a horse come from dead last, you say, oh, well, they will like the extra distance. In theory, that sounds right, but that's not always the case. In those shorter races, when they go that fast, you see races collapse at the wire, and I just don't think that's going to translate into the mile. This is a horse maybe on the bottom end of your tickets. You always got to respect trainer Bill Mott with a turf horse, but I don't see this horse as a win candidate, maybe third or fourth in the try in Superfecta.
All right, there you go. Now we'll move on to number 5 here, Set Piece. Now the Great Britain horse here, Brad Cox and Giroux on top, 5-2. Here, Sig, is what we're looking at. 9 victories, 16 starts for Set Piece. What do you think? We got a little bit of a favorite in our midst here. What do you think of Set Piece?
Yeah, Joe, actually, Set Piece ended up being 5-2 on your morning line, just behind Raging Bull. But I want to go back and elaborate a little bit on what Marco was saying on the 4-horse Casa Creed. If you guys take a look at the past performances, he was entered last weekend at Saratoga in a sprint race. He's been running sprints the past couple races here. They scratched him out. He drew a far outside post, and I don't think they wanted to be racing a sprint from the outside, so they did put him in this spot here. I think they've been training him up for another sprint race and going to the mile. I think it's going to be a little too much for Casa Creed. I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there on that one. But Set Piece is Florent Giroux rides for Brad Cox, riding a 3-race winning streak coming into this spot here, and has 2 wins and 5 career starts at this mile distance. He's a homebred for Jumbon Farms and has 9 victories and 16 career starts. And it seems like Cox and Giroux had this horse figured out. It seems to be getting better with age. It came over from Europe and went into the Cox barn, had ran some allowance races and so forth, and didn't have great success, but they seem to have figured this one out. If you look back, 3 first, a second, 4th at Fairgrounds back earlier in the year. The horse likes to press the pace and then finds another gear late in the race and just seems to keep going. The recent works here have been really fast. I mean, including there was a 46, I think, last out here at Saratoga. I think this horse is a strong candidate for the win in it here, and I'm going to be he'll be on all my exotic tickets.
Okay, well, here we go. Brad Cox, Giroux. Let's talk about number 6 here, Marco. Got Stormy Marquez, got Gaffleon on this one here. We've got a morning line of 10-1 here. What do you think about Got Stormy's chances?
Well, I know Got Stormy's going to have the biggest fan club at Saratoga on Saturday, as this is part of the My Racehorse ownership group where they have all of those partners. But I just don't like this horse in this race. A lot of things I got to point out. Yeah, I'm going to start with the first one. I don't want to be a sexist, but I'm not a big fan of racing fillies and mares against colts. That's what you've got here with Got Stormy. She's a 6-year-old mare. The fact that she is an older mare does help somewhat. But what I don't like about Got Stormy is if you look at the last 3 races, all 3 of those races, you hear me talk about speed figures all the time. She's going the wrong way. Using the Trackmaster speed figures, this horse's last 3 races, 3 back, 113 rating, 2 back, 96, last time out, 91. You don't want to be going into a major stake race against the colts with the filly and have your speed figures go in the wrong direction. 10-1, there's a reason for that. I don't like her in this particular race, and I will not be using her on Saturday.
All right, well, he's moving on from that. We'll head over to number 7 here, Field Pass. Mike Maker, Ricardo Santana Jr. here, morning line of 8-1 there. Talk to me, Sig, about Field Pass, and what about the chances here?
Yeah, Joe, Field Pass is making the step up in class here for Mike Maker. Mike Maker, you always have to take a look at when he has a horse on the turf here. He's missed a board, though, in 4 straight races before winning the Baltimore-Washington International Turf Cup at Pimlico last month here. And this is a much tougher field than he faced in that race at Pimlico here. He tries to be on the early pace, and there are some faster horses in here that's going to make it difficult for him. So I think jockey Ricardo Santana, who's aboard, is going to try to keep him as close as possible to that early pace setup and try to make one big run late here. One thing, though, to pay attention to with this colt is the track conditions, as 3 of his 4 career wins have come over soft turf, and there is rain possible later tonight and into tomorrow morning at Saratoga Springs. So if the turf course comes up soft, I would bump this horse up a little bit in your rankings. And while I'm using him here, I think he's a step below the top tier of horses in the field, and I would not expect him to contend for the win, but possibly 2 hit those exotic tickets here. So field pass, if it's wet and soft on that turf, definitely to give him a second look.
All right. Well, that leaves us with 1, and that would be number 8. 1 left there. Blowout, Chad Brown, Joel Rosario here. Marco, 6-1 morning line. Certainly likes to go to the lead. Pretty much has in just about every race here. So what do you think about her chances here at Blowout, number 8?
This is a horse that if I didn't look and see that she is a mare, I would like her a lot more. But you're going to have to consider, Joe, in this race because she does like the front end. But what I want to point out is that front end generally is not the best place to be in a turf race. But this horse, why she's been so successful is she's been left alone on the front end in a lot of her races. And when you have those races where you have loose on the lead, uncontested, those horses swell up and sometimes they're hard to go by. Now, what I also want to point out is if you look at the program, you mentioned Chad Brown. Well, Chad Brown also has the number 1 horse in this race. Even more of a coincidence is look at the owner of the number 8 horse. It is the same owner as the 1 horse, Raging Bull. Now, this is a spot where, generally speaking, in years past, this would have been a coupled entry. They're allowed the races as uncoupled entry in this stake race. Let's play devil's advocate, conspiracy theory. Is this horse in the race to ensure that there is a quick pace up front? Because Raging Bull is a horse that's going to be closing. And if you're a closer, especially if you're down at the rail, you're going to have to navigate through some traffic. They're going to want a fast pace up front. So this could be the old, as we like to say, rabbit in the race for Chad Brown to help the other horse. And it's one of those situations for him. It's like a free roll because if the 8 goes and nobody goes with the 8 has a chance to steal this race. But there are a couple other speed horses in here that I think will set up fast fractions and make it that much better for the favorite, Raging Bull. So I will use Blowout on the bottom end of my tickets, 3rd or 4th in the tries and superfectas, but I don't think she can win this race, but she is going to be a major factor in determining who does win this race with the pace she sets.
All right, well, that's it. A field of 8 here for the Fourstardave Handicap. It is a battle of the sexes, that's for sure. So when you put it all together, what's the tickets look like? Sig, we'll come to you first, my friend. Talk to us. What does your card look like here for this race?
Well, Joe, I covered the odd horses here on the show today, and all my horses ended up being the ones that hit my ticket here. Like I said, guys, Raging Bull, I think, is your morning line favorite. I think that's definitely deserved. And like Marco just brought up, it sounds like Blowout could definitely be a rabbit in this field and would set this race up perfectly for Raging Bull. Chad Brown hasn't won this race yet, and I think he's got 2 shots in here. I think that Raging Bull gets a nice setup in here and should hit the line first. He is going to get a challenge, though, from set piece. Like I said, 3 straight wins, Florent Giroux, Brad Cox, horse that really seems to be coming into his own at 5 years old. I did take a flyer on Field Pass. Like I said, guys, this course comes up soft. He's definitely going to get more of an advantage out of that. But it is going to be a little tougher class-wise for him. And then my long shot pick in here is the 3, Daddy is a Legend. I like the results that Franco and Weaver got out of this horse in the past. And I think they have a shot here at a big price to hit the ticket and blow those tickets up.
All right. 1573 for Sig. Marco, what does your ticket look like? Any even horses there?
One even horse found its way to the ticket for me, but we are in agreement this week with Raging Bull. I think the race is going to set up perfectly for the Chad Brown horse. As I said, I think Blowout's going to be setting the pace in this race and get them an honest pace to get that horse coming home. I went with a flyer. I flip-flopped the number 2 horse for who I have running second, trying to get a little bit of a price here with Field Pass. I got the 7 second. The 5 horse set piece, this is the logical horse to finish second in this race. This horse will be flying late. If you want to see a masterful drive, go look at the last race on set piece and watch what Drew did in that race. He bobbed and weaved through the field in the stretch. And, closers, we always talk about you're subject to traffic. This guy was bobbing and weaving through traffic like he was flying down the highway, and he never had to touch the brakes once, and then put him through a narrow hole on the inside to just get up for the win. All of the time doing it, basically hand riding in those final strides to get up. This horse was very impressive in that race. That doesn't always happen, get a clean trip coming from dead last. So we'll see what happens this week. And then, as I said in there, Blowout will be on the lead. I think can hold on to get a piece of the exotics underneath. So I put number 8, Blowout, in my 4th spot.
Oh, I love it. 1758 there for Marco. So there you got it, guys. Race number 10 tomorrow, Saratoga, that being August the 14th. Opportunities galore there at the Fourstardave Handicap. Going to be a great race, and of course, that means the winner qualifies for that big race at Del Mar, the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile, coming up in November. But you don't have to wait to November to make it a profitable weekend. You can go ahead right now over to WagerTalk.com. Sig's got his racing reports, his daily racing reports, ready to rock and roll 9 a.m. Eastern time each and every race day. Just head over to his page at WagerTalk, wt.buzz/Sig. And like we've been telling you, nobody, and we mean absolutely nobody, has been hotter in the MLB than Marco. He is just lighting it up and cashing tickets for his clients here, guys. And right now, along with everything that's going to happen in race day tomorrow, now through September 13th, all access pass, never miss a play. All plays, all sports for Marco, just $199. That would include football. Also, just around the corner there, guys. So take advantage of it. Head over to Marco's page, and then, of course, hit that bell in the upper right-hand corner right now. Get notified when Pony Pundits goes live, as we will be back again next Friday for another edition, taking a look at the weekend ahead in racing. So on behalf of Marco D'Angelo and Sig, I'm Joe Ranieri. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Best of luck at the track or wherever you're going to land here this weekend, but make sure you come back and join us again next Friday. We'll talk to you then. Good luck, guys.
How much do you want to pay for the NFL and college football season? You decide how much you want to save. Right now, WagerTalk is offering their lowest price for the 2021 NFL and college football seasons. From now through the start of the regular season, we are offering special early bird pricing, but these prices will increase by $20 per sport and $30 for the college football and NFL combo every week until the season kicks off. Save up to $200 this week by buying your favorite WagerTalk capper for the package, and remember, the longer you wait, the less you save.